Hi, I'm Susan Bear, and I'm here with Umberto Neira.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Umberto Neira. I'm a technology specialist at Bear Technology.
Today, we are talking about data security, and we have so much to talk about. So this could go on for a really long time, but we will be succinct and make sure to give you everything that you need to go forward and do that with some calmness, knowing that your data is secure. So right now, your data is in the cloud or it's on your computer. And our question for you is, how secure is your data? And what would happen if you needed to access your data if you lost access to the hard drive on your computer or to your cloud accounts? And the most important thing for you on your cloud accounts is similar to what we talked about last week, which is having a strong password. So let's say that you use either Office 365, so that would mean that your data is in OneDrive. Or if you use Google, so your data is on the Google Drive, or if you are on a Mac or using Apple products, then your data would be on an iCloud drive. And so when you think about your data being out there and everything that you create, that you save, that you write, you design is secured by the one password that you are using for those different drives and for those different products. So if you're using a weak password with either Microsoft or Apple or Google or wherever your files are stored, then your data is at risk. Also, if you're storing your files on your hard drive, then your data could be at risk as well if you don't have a good password. And then another thing about hard drives is hard drives can die. And there's sometimes a warning, like you'll hear a little beep sound, or anytime a hard drive is making noise, it's a bad sign. But if you do hear your hard drive beeping, that means it's giving you some warning and it could die. And then once your hard drive dies, it's quite difficult and quite expensive to recover that data. So we recommend using a product called Carbonite, which is an online backup service, and it constantly backs up your data. If you're a business person, an artist, a writer, a photographer, you need to make sure that you can get back to whatever it is that you're working on. And I mentioned if you have a business, you would need to make sure to have backups of your contracts and your financial data, because you're legally obligated to have all of that information secure, backed up, and stored in a way that's easily accessible if you are ever asked by a government entity or another business for that data. And then I'd like to invite Umberto to talk about some of the other topics that we would like to touch on, including firewalls, Wi-Fi safety, and VPN.
Yes, thank you. So often we think about our data as our files or pictures. This is data that we stored, as Susan mentioned, local storage, external hard drive, or the cloud. But how about your data in transit? In transit meaning when you connect to the internet, when you are connected to Wi-Fi, and you go to a website, of course, making sure it's the legitimate website, for example, for your internet service provider, for your bank account, and you enter your username and password, that data in transit, it needs to be protected also. And not so much as a backup, but in terms of if somebody else might be able to see it. Then we get into the topic of encryption, and thus get into the topic of secure Wi-Fi. And of course, that goes into the firewall. So what's a firewall? A firewall, either the software or hardware, meaning a program you install or another device, it will basically protect the data in transit and also block what websites either you want to access or access back to you, right? So, for example, if you have a firewall device, this could come from your internet service provider. You can buy your own. We can talk about different brands, for example, Sonic firewalls, Cisco firewalls, in which you can manually block websites that you know are harmful, or simply that website that you don't want anybody in your home who connects to your network to get access to, right? This is good for parents, for example, good for teachers also. It is certainly a good and useful tool to protect children and everybody also from harmful websites. So that's a Cisco firewall, and that is also a Sonic wall. So basically a different device connected to your router. And also, as I mentioned, internet service providers also offer such services for an additional fee. Certainly, you have firewalls at a hardware level. You see Microsoft Windows 10 and 11. Also, you will notice whenever you install a new application, a pop-up will come up and say, firewall, are you giving permission for this application or this website to access and give, basically set up a network. You know, this comes with software which will need to use the internet. That is firewall at a software level. We talked about Malwarebytes and other antiviruses would also offer certain protection for firewall. You know, they have a vault of many websites that they know are harmful, and they can block them for you. It's part of their safe internet browsing, and those tools are very useful to protect you, or rather to protect your data in transit. Now, for those who want to go a step beyond, one more step, that will be on VPNs, virtual private networks. You can think of it as a tunnel, right? As the internet is often pictured as a highway. So how will this concept apply to your data? Let's just say, for example, you are connected to a public Wi-Fi, and that public Wi-Fi is not set up with a secure settings. And basically, if you entered your username, password on any website, somebody might actually be able to see your data in transit. And well, that's trouble, right? And how will a VPN protect you? As that as that Wi-Fi through the internet as a highway, the VPN will come up as a tunnel that will protect you from being seen by anybody. So a VPN, basically, it's tunnels all your transits, like you going underground, basically, to protect your data in transit from, in like the example I gave, unsafe Wi-Fi network. Nowadays, we have many VPN services, which for a monthly fee, you can use and install their software just with a few clicks, and you will be able to enter that tunnel and go through the internet safely, and rather have your data in transit and be protected against anybody who might be looking and lurking around, your data in transit.
Thank you. That's great. Great advice. And I realize that for some of you, this all might sound very daunting. Like, how do I fix this? Sign me up for that VPN or that Carbonite or that firewall or the Malwarebytes virus protection and browser protection. So we are here, of course, for you. We love helping people, whether it's you're new to us, whether you're our existing clients. And we can help you whether you're local in the Washington, D.C. area. We can help you if you're in Singapore or wherever you are in the world. We can work with you remotely. And we do have a secure remote system that we use that is constantly updated and that we trust. And a couple of other things I wanted to mention is some of the basics of your computer and the security of it. So if you lose your computer or your computer is stolen and you don't have that data backed up somewhere, then it's gone. If you let other people use your computer or your devices, and they can either damage it or create an opening for your data to be exposed. So if you have either your employees using your computer or other family members, children, neighbors who are using your computer, then you are putting yourself, your finances, your data at risk. And your computer can be used as a weapon if someone gets onto your computer and they take over your computer or they're using it as if it were their own. This could be somebody from overseas. It happens where they take over your computer, and then they are using your computer to commit cyber crimes. So it's really important to have a team like us watching out for you, helping you make sure that you have the right protections set up. And you can reach out to us through our link in the bio. You can get a free call from, or get a free call with us through our Calendly link. And that's through our link tree, Bear Technology, or at Bear Technology Inc. on Instagram, beartechnology.com, all of those different ways and avenues and tunnels and highways to get to us. And then I also wanted to mention one other thing about security, which is when you have a business and then you have other people who are doing work for you, whether it's a virtual assistant on the other side of the world, whether it's an employee or a partner, you want to make sure that you set up the protections for that relationship. And so if you have an employee, let's say, and you set up their computer, and then that employee leaves and you need to lock that computer down, wipe that computer clean, that's something that you set up as you onboard your employees. So it's really important to have an onboarding process where you incorporate all of the security measures that you want to protect your precious work, idea, insight, so that that information doesn't get lost or stolen, or it's out there and you just have no control of getting that back into your own hands, and password protect that. Once again, changing your password so that your information is protected.
If you have more questions or concerns, yeah, you can get into our Calendly link and claim your free consult, right? And if you have questions, also you can leave them in the comment section, or you can send us an email or message to our social media.
So I think we've filled your minds with enough information for right now. We're always here if you have any questions. We're happy to help. We've been doing this a long time, and we're going to be doing it a long time because technology just keeps moving, and it keeps moving at a faster and faster pace. So we are staying ahead of the security curve and making sure that our clients are safe, and we want you to be safe too. So you have a great day, and we hope to hear from you. Just go to the links. You can pop a comment in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take care. See you next time.